If you're a woman over 60, take a moment, pause whatever you're doing, and listen to your body. Have you noticed feeling heavier each morning? That your lower abdomen feel bloated after meals? Or that your hips and inner thighs seem tighter, less flexible than they used to be? You might assume it's just aging, but in truth, these are your body's subtle messages. Your pelvic circulation is slowing down, your pelvic floor muscles are losing flexibility, and blood flow to your hips, the area responsible for balance and emotional grounding, is decreasing. And most importantly, many women begin to lose physical autonomy without even realizing it. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and after more than 20 years of caring for older adults across the U.S., I've learned something profound. The healthiest, strongest, and most independent women in their 70s and 80s are not necessarily the ones who exercise the most, but those who understand how to move the core foundation of the body, the pelvis and hips, correctly. In this video, I'll share 5 simple at-home exercises, starting with one that has transformed the lives of hundreds of my patients, the butterfly stretch. It's a gentle yet powerful movement that helps restore your ability to stand up, walk with ease, breathe deeply, and sleep soundly. If you've ever felt that your body was trying to whisper, "I need a deeper kind of care," I want you to write it in the comments below. Tell me if you've ever felt that way, because the very moment you start listening to your body, your journey of true recovery begins. One of the most unfortunate things I've seen in over 2 decades as a geriatric physician is that too many people cross the age of 60 without ever being taught how to maintain functional mobility. They're prescribed medications, reminded to check blood sugar or measure bone density, but almost no one talks to them about the importance of keeping the hips flexible, maintaining steady blood flow to the pelvic area, or ensuring that pelvic floor muscles are engaged properly each day. They feel their bodies slowing down, becoming heavier, losing control when bending or standing, and they assume it's just old age. But that's not true. According to the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, loss of hip flexibility after 60 is directly linked to reduced ability to stand up from a chair, step over thresholds, and maintain balance, all of which increase the risk of falls and dependency. Meanwhile, Harvard Health Publishing reports that just 10 to 15 minutes of correct pelvic and hip movement daily can significantly improve circulation, support digestion, and calm the autonomic nervous system, which helps regulate sleep, blood pressure, and emotional stability. And the best part, you don't need a gym or fancy equipment. All you need is a small space in your living room and a few simple restorative exercises that help rebuild your body from the inside out, like the butterfly stretch. It's more than just a yoga pose. It's a forgotten key in the natural design of post-60 wellness. So, what exactly can this movement do for you? Let's find out together. 1. Enhances blood and lymphatic circulation. After the age of 60, blood and lymphatic circulation naturally slow down, especially in the lower abdomen, hips, and inner thighs, areas often compressed from prolonged sitting or inactivity. This stagnation doesn't just cause heaviness, bloating, or cold feet and hands. It also reduces your body's ability to recover after each meal, night's rest, or moment of movement. And suppose you've ever believed that you need intense workouts to boost circulation. In that case, I'm here to tell you the opposite. It's the gentle, intentional movements that target the pelvic region that safely reactivate your body's natural circulatory system after 60. With the butterfly stretch, simply sitting down, gently opening your knees to the sides, and holding the pose for 30 to 60 seconds, creates a soft, compression release effect across the network of blood vessels and lymph nodes in your inner thighs, hips, and pelvic floor. According to Harvard Medical School, healthy lymphatic circulation is fundamental to an efficient immune system, helping reduce chronic inflammation and prevent edema in older adults. Another study in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that gentle pelvic stretches can improve tissue oxygenation and recovery speed, particularly in postmenopausal women. What I love most about this movement is that you don't have to strain or force anything. You relax, focus on your breathing, and let your body restart its natural circulation. Within a few days, many of my patients begin noticing warmer feet, a lighter abdomen, and deeper sleep, all from a movement that seems too simple to make a difference. But it's precisely in that simplicity that you rediscover the natural flow your body has been missing. 2. Improves hip flexibility and supports daily mobility. If you've ever struggled to climb stairs, sit down without using your hands, or felt your hips stiffen every morning, then you've experienced what specialists call reduced hip flexibility, a common condition after 60. And this isn't a minor issue. According to the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, loss of hip and groin mobility is a key risk factor that limits independence in daily tasks such as dressing, bending to pick up objects, or walking briskly. When the hips lose their natural range of motion, every movement becomes heavier, slower, and less stable, making falls more likely. What makes the butterfly stretch unique is that it directly targets the hip adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles responsible for keeping your movement smooth and controlled as you walk, stand, or shift your weight. Practicing this stretch just a few minutes a day gradually increases hip range of motion and restores the flexibility of the pelvic joints. A study published in Geriatrics and Gerontology International found that after just 8 weeks of consistent hip opening stretches, like the butterfly pose, older adults improved their hip mobility by up to 26%, making it easier to stand up, sit down, and move independently without support. But what stands out most to me isn't just the data, it's the transformation in daily life. The moment my patients rise from the couch without pushing off their hands, the way they climb a staircase without taking a deep breath first. The butterfly stretch isn't just an exercise. It's the first step toward a more liberated, comfortable, and independent life after 60. 3. Supports posture and relieves lower back pain. There's a truth few people talk about. Most cases of lower back pain in women over 60 don't actually originate in the back. They start in the hips, where flexibility is declining and structural support for the spine is gradually weakening. When the inner thigh muscles, hip adductors, tighten, the groin stiffens, and the pelvic region lacks movement, the lumbar spine is forced to compensate, arching excessively, overworking stabilizer muscles, and ultimately triggering sharp pain when bending, twisting, or even just standing for extended periods. According to a comprehensive review published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, limited pelvic flexibility and imbalanced hip musculature are among the most common contributors to chronic lower back pain in older adults, especially in postmenopausal women. The butterfly stretch offers a gentle yet effective solution. When you sit upright, gently open your inner thighs and hold the position in a relaxed state. You're not only releasing tension in the groin area, but also helping the pelvis return to a neutral alignment, a foundational requirement for a healthy spine. Maintaining an upright spine during the stretch also rebuilds postural awareness, which, according to Harvard Health Publishing, can improve balance by up to 30% and reduce pressure on the lower back when practiced regularly. For many of my patients, just 2 to 3 weeks of performing this stretch in the morning or before bedtime led to noticeable changes. They could stand up straighter, feel less lingering discomfort in the lower back, and, most importantly, regain a sense of control over their own posture. The butterfly stretch isn't a miracle, but it is a reliable first step in restoring stability at the core, where posture and long-term spinal health truly begin. 4. Supports bladder function and pelvic floor health. One of the most private but deeply life-altering changes for women after 60 is the weakening of the pelvic floor and loss of bladder control. You might notice it when a slight cough leads to a urine leak, or when you wake up multiple times at night to use the bathroom. This is not something you have to accept as part of aging. In fact, according to the National Institute on Aging, more than 50% of women over 60 experience bladder control issues, primarily due to pelvic floor dysfunction, reduced blood flow to the pelvic region, and lack of appropriate movement. The butterfly stretch is one of the few non-invasive, equipment-free exercises that directly engage the pelvic floor in a gentle, natural way. When you open your hips, and hold this position while staying connected to your lower abdomen and breath. You're gently activating the muscles that support the bladder, uterus, and rectum. According to research published in the Journal of Women's Health Physical Therapy, hip opening exercises combined with deep breathing and neutral pelvic alignment significantly improve pelvic floor strength, promote healthier urinary function, and reduce the risk of urinary incontinence in older women. I always tell my patients, don't wait until your body cries out before you start caring for your pelvic health. Be proactive, because the pelvic floor isn't just a group of muscles, it's the foundation of your confidence, control, and dignity. And the butterfly stretch, when practiced regularly, is a door back to feeling present and powerful in your body, naturally and without medication. 5. Reduces stress, promotes deep relaxation. When you reach your 60s, stress doesn't disappear, it simply changes form. It's no longer about work deadlines or raising children, but about worries over health, loneliness, sleep disturbances, and the growing sense that your body no longer feels like your own. What most people don't realize is that the hips and pelvic region are storage centers for unprocessed emotions. If left unaddressed, this area keeps sending low-level stress signals to your central nervous system. That's why so many older women report feeling anxious, restless, or emotionally drained, even on calm, uneventful days. The butterfly stretch acts as a natural therapy to help restore balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. When you sit in this position and pair it with slow, intentional breathing, you stimulate the vagus nerve, the nerve responsible for initiating the body's relaxation response. According to Harvard Health Publishing, gentle stretching combined with controlled breathing can lower cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, and improve sleep quality in older adults in as little as 2 weeks. A study published in the International Journal of Yoga further supports that hip-opening poses have a direct impact on calming the autonomic nervous system, slowing heart rate, and promoting deep neurological relaxation. What makes the butterfly stretch truly special is that it doesn't require any effort. There's no forcing, no counting. You simply sit down, open your hips, close your eyes, and, for perhaps the first time that day, allow yourself not to do, but to simply be. To me, this isn't just a stretch. It's a restorative ritual specifically designed for women over 60 who deserve to reconnect with their inner calm, one breath at a time. 6. Revitalizes pelvic energy, the key to graceful aging. There's one part of a woman's body after 60 that often goes neglected, not because it's unimportant, but because we were never taught how to care for it properly. I'm talking about the pelvic region, home to the reproductive organs and bladder, yes, but also the center of life force, emotional vitality, and feminine hormonal balance. When this area becomes stagnant, tight, or disconnected, it can lead to chronic fatigue, loss of desire, emotional numbness, and a disheartening feeling of not being fully yourself. And this isn't just about aging. It's about a lack of proper movement and awareness. The butterfly stretch is one of the rare movements that reconnects the physical and energetic aspects of the pelvis. When you gently open the hips, relax your lower belly, maintain a tall spine, and breathe deeply, you increase blood flow to the uterus, ovaries, and adrenal glands, key organs in regulating hormones and sustaining inner vitality. Research published in the Maturitas Journal found that improved pelvic circulation is directly linked to better hormonal regulation, enhanced mood, and increased quality of life in postmenopausal women. Meanwhile, Harvard Women's Health Watch notes that regular pelvic-focused movement slows the loss of collagen in the pelvic floor, helping maintain both core stability and a deeply feminine sense of self. I call this pelvic energy renewal, not to make you feel 30 again, but to help you feel light, vibrant, and gracefully alive from the inside out. With just 2 minutes of butterfly stretch a day, you're not merely exercising, you're sending a powerful message to your body. I am still vibrant. I am still connected to my feminine power. And that may be the greatest gift you can give yourself after 60. If this is your first time doing the butterfly stretch, don't worry. You don't need to be as flexible as a ballet dancer to feel its benefits. In fact, the older you get, the more your body benefits from movements that are slow, precise, and intentional. And the butterfly stretch is the perfect exercise to safely reawaken the pelvic region. Start by sitting on a yoga mat or a firm, stable surface. Bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together so they touch in the middle, like the closed wings of a butterfly. Gently hold your feet or ankles with your hands. Now, sit tall. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the sky, and allow your knees to relax down toward the floor without forcing them. If your hips feel tight, place a small pillow under each knee for support. You can also sit on a rolled towel to elevate your hips slightly. This reduces pressure on the spine and makes it easier to keep your back straight. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, exhale gently for 6 seconds. Hold the stretch for 20 to 30 seconds if you're new, gradually working up to 60 seconds as your body adjusts. Repeat 2 to 3 times per session, 3 to 5 days per week for the best results. According to the American Council on Exercise, when performed correctly, static stretches like the butterfly stretch can improve hip range of motion, enhance posture, and reduce injury risk in older adults. The best part? You can do it in your living room, next to your bed, or on a sunny balcony, anywhere you can find a quiet moment in your day. It's more than just a physical movement. It's a daily ritual that reconnects you to yourself after 60. Although the butterfly stretch is one of the safest and gentlest exercises for adults over 60, performing it incorrectly can still place unnecessary stress on your hips, ligaments, or spine. And the first thing I want to emphasize is this: never press your knees down with your hands. Doing so can strain the groin muscles and ligaments that naturally weaken with age. Instead, let the weight of your legs and the pull of gravity do the work, gently and gradually. Another common mistake is rounding the spine. Not only does this reduce the effectiveness of the stretch, but it may also cause tension in the lower back. If you're unable to sit upright at first, try sitting on a thin cushion or rolled towel to slightly raise your hips. This technique is recommended by the Mayo Clinic in rehabilitation programs for older adults. Also, avoid bouncing your knees up and down, a technique that can be harmful for those with loose connective tissues or a history of osteoporosis. From a medical perspective, if you are recovering from hip replacement surgery, lower abdominal surgery, or have active inflammation in the pelvic area, consult a physical therapist before attempting this stretch. According to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, older adults with a history of pelvic fractures or advanced arthritis should begin stretching under supervision to ensure safety and proper alignment. And finally, listen to your body. The butterfly stretch should never cause pain. It should bring a sense of gentle release, growing warmth, and deeper breath. If you feel sharp discomfort, aching, or lingering tightness after the stretch, pause and adjust. Because after 60, the best exercise is not the most intense. It's the one that feels safe, comforting, and makes you want to return to it again tomorrow. I know that once you reach your 60s, your daily schedule may no longer be packed with responsibilities, but the fatigue still lingers. And ironically, many people spend hours worrying about their health, yet can't seem to spare even 3 minutes to care for their body the right way. Of all the exercises I've taught, the butterfly stretch is the one my older patients stick with the longest. Not because it's too easy, but because it's truly effective, both physically and emotionally. All it takes is 3 minutes a day. You don't need to change into workout clothes, leave the house, or use any equipment. Just sit down, hold the butterfly position, breathe slowly, and allow your pelvic region to gently open. According to research from the Journals of Gerontology, engaging in daily light static movement reduces the risk of functional mobility decline by up to 40% during the first 5 years after turning 65. No intense workouts, no jogging. Just consistent, conscious repetition with a sense of respect for your body. I often call this the 3-minute autonomy ritual because it not only improves circulation, eases back pain, and enhances flexibility, but it also helps you begin or end your day with a powerful feeling. I am still in control of my body. And sometimes, that feeling alone is enough to live the day fully, joyfully, without needing help from anyone else. If you're ready to commit 3 minutes a day to yourself, write in the comments below. I'm starting today. Because health after 60 doesn't come from luck, it comes from the small, intentional choices you make every day. And today, you've chosen the right place to begin again.